So this is the perfume all unpacked. I'm just trying to, can I zoom you out? No, that's zooming in. Can I zoom out? That's as zoomed out as I can get. But basically, that's all the perfume. There are no casualties yet, although that's a very precarious looking pile. So I need to take them all out of the bubble wrap and put them somewhere properly. I think what I'm going to do is there's like a cupboard at the end here that has just shelving. So I think I'll just I'll put them in there because they're definitely not going to get any sunlight there. So yes, the perfume survived the trip. Yay. Right. The time has come. We are going to tackle the perfume cabinet. I don't know where I'm going to put you though in order to film it because I don't have a tripod, but we'll work it out. Okay, so this was the best setup I could come up with. Hopefully I'm in focus. Well, hopefully all of these are in focus. I don't know. I can't see from this far away. You're quite a way away from me right now. This is not everything. There's still another shelf worth of perfume in the cupboard. But I thought I might have to do this in 2 lots because I don't know how long the battery is going to last either. So let's get going. If you are new here and you don't know what the hell is going on, basically, I just moved from Brisbane, Australia to Saudi Arabia, and I have had this perfume-related channel for a few years now, and I had a lot of perfumes. So it's been a journey of trying to work through what perfumes I was going to bring to Saudi with me. So I am living here now. I took a job here, and I couldn't bring everything with me. And the ones that I did bring, I was very nervous about how they were going to survive the trip. And when I unpacked them all, it seems like they've all survived well. I had everything wrapped up in bubble wrap and taped. And I'm going to unbox them for you now and let you know what I brought with me. So I had calculated that I had almost 400 perfumes basically before I left. I can't remember what the exact number was. I'd have to go back and have a look. I couldn't find any scissors in the local store, so the closest I could get were these poultry shears. So that is what I'm using. And the reason why I have to use scissors or some kind of cutting implement is because I bubble wrapped these and then I taped them quite securely with packing tape. So it was going to be very difficult to get them open without any sort of cutting implement. Okay, the first one is free. This is Joyous Tuberose by Guerlain. It's only a little 50 ml bottle, and I thought it would be really great for the Saudi weather because obviously it gets quite warm here, and you will see a theme of that in the selection that I have brought with me. Most of them are fragrances that kind of work well in warmer weather. Ah yes, one of my absolute favourites, Dear Woman by Amouage. So I've been having a bit of a panic actually this afternoon. I realised that when I went to the airport, I had put a few $100s worth of cash in my bag to exchange at the airport, and I wasn't able to exchange it at the airport because the currency exchanges didn't actually have any Saudi riyals. And I've just realised that I never saw that cash when I was unpacking everything at the end, and it obviously didn't go in a suitcase that was checked. It was in my carry-on. I don't know what has happened to that cash. I'm hoping that it's just, and I can't remember what I did with it. I can't remember what I can't remember if I had it or if I handled it when I got to the currency exchanges, or if I got there and I think I was going to use my credit card actually. So maybe I didn't bring the cash in the end. I can't remember. Everything is just such a blur to me actually that first day, or that day that I flew, because it was just so crazy. This is La Panthère by Cartier. Such a great perfume. Oh, yay. I'm so glad I brought this one. I've missed it. I was actually going to film this video earlier this afternoon when there was still sunlight, and I wasn't able to because I spent hours and hours and hours going, like, rifling through bags and every little pocket I could find. I don't know. This is J'adore l'eau. It's the Essence de Parfum, and it's I think this was a Bertrand Duchefort creation, if I'm remembering correctly. I can't quite remember. It's an older sort of fragrance and discontinued now. You can't get it anymore. Really beautiful, rosy, vintage perfume. Beautiful. This is the one that I have been trying to find all week because I've been wanting to wear it all week, and I was too scared to sort of rifle through the packages in the cupboard because I didn't want them to all fall out. So I couldn't find it. It didn't come immediately to hand. But this is Existence by Amouage. Really lovely kind of white floral and frankincense. It's quite soapy, very, very strong. One of the florals in here is Lily of the Valley, and it just gives it this really clean feel to it. It's really nice. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's great. It feels modern and old school at the same time, because Lily of the Valley is quite is a note that's not used much in modern perfumery these days. So the Lily of the Valley kind of makes it feel a bit old school, but then at the same time it's got all these modern characteristics to it. I heard somebody say that they thought it smelled a bit space agey. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it's that modern smelling, but it definitely has given a modern twist to traditionally an old kind of perfumery note. Lyric Woman by Amouage. I love this perfume so much. I'm so glad I brought this with me. This is my go-to date night perfume. Whenever Matt and I decide we're going out for dinner or something, this is the first thing I think of to wear when we are getting ready. That is a really great one as well. You will note there are a few Amouages in here, but not too many. I mean, I think there might only be one more to unwrap, perhaps, considering that I had a lot of Amouage perfumes. I still do. They're just still back in Brisbane. They're just not here with me. My voice sounds really weird because I've had this kind of dry cough for a couple of weeks and it just won't go away. But every time I kind of stop and hear myself speaking, I feel like my voice sounds kind of strangled or something. Anyway, the next one is Belle d'Afrique by Rado. A really bright, citrusy perfume and a really good one for the hot weather, of course. I know what this one is. This is one of my absolute all-time favourites, must-have perfumes, sadly discontinued now, like most of my favourites, unfortunately. That's just the way of things, isn't it? Nevertheless, I do have a very sizable backup of this one now. So if I do end up using all of this up, I can go and retrieve the backup bottle when I'm next in Brisbane. And it has leaked a little bit, so I'm not going to unwrap it completely, otherwise it'll get all over the bedspread. But this is Tonka Imperial by Guerlain. I do not know why they discontinued this. I guess because they released the Tonka Serapia, but I think I like this one better than Tonka Serapia. So although I do like Tonka Serapia as well, and I was thinking about buying that, but then I found a 200ml bottle of this for sale in one of the Facebook groups, and it's a legitimate bottle, very happy with it, smells wonderful, and I didn't have to spend the same. It basically would have cost the same to get the Tonka Serapia. So, and the Tonka Serapia is only a 50ml bottle. So I think I did well. I got my favourite. I got the one I liked the most, and it was better value for money. This is L'Eau d'Ombre Extreme by L'Artisan Parfumeur. I did throw in a few ambers into the mix because, I mean, I am in the Middle East, so they do like their heavy ambers, and I have noticed that the way they layer their perfume and wear their perfume, I can smell sort of ambery scents around me all day long, and I love it. It's great. So this is one of my favourite ambers. So I definitely had to bring that one with me. Here we have a couple of little 15 ml bottles. So I did bring quite a few of these. These are Ducita perfumes, Ducita parfums, and this one is Pelagos and this one is Melody de l'Amour. These are only 15 ml. So I have quite a few of them. I bought a bunch so that I would have more of a range, and my full bottles of Ducitas are still back in Brisbane. I don't think I bought any full bottles of Ducita parfums because I had so many of those 15 ml ones that came in those coffrets. Ducita used to do these specials at Christmas time where you could buy, I think if you bought a full size or a 50 ml, you could get a couple of 15 ml or you could get a little coffret or something of 3 or something. I can't remember how it worked now, but I just remember that's why it ended up with so many of the 15 ml bottles. They're really cute. This is Trudon by LA. If you watched any of my videos from last year, and there weren't that many because I wasn't very prolific with uploading last year, but this had featured quite a lot in the last 12 months probably. It's a really beautiful soapy, sandalwoody fragrance. Like it's not even, you don't even get really that much of the sandalwood. It's a soapy, musky, soapy florals and with a musky base, and there is a bit of woodiness in there. And it just reminds me of being by the beach. So my first week in Saudi has been great, though I've been a bit of a space cadet because I've been quite jet lagged. In fact, it's the worst jet lag I've ever had. But I think it's just because I've never, usually when I travel like that, I'm going on holiday. And when I'm going on holiday, I usually allow for enough time after landing in my destination to recover. But this time, because I was coming into a job, I basically had to get straight to work. So for a number of reasons, one of them being in order to get my national ID. So in order to do anything here, to exist here, basically, you have to get this thing called an Iqama, and that is your national identity, and it unlocks pretty much everything. Once you get your Iqama, you can get a Saudi phone number, and you can register your actual address. At the moment, I basically don't exist in the system. And so I can't even order anything online for the house or anything because I don't have a Saudi phone number. And that's the first thing. Really, it's the Saudi phone number. You need the Iqama to get the phone number, I think. But it's the phone number that unlocks everything for you to be able to order things online and use any of the apps. The first thing they always ask you is, what's your phone number? So, and your phone number is then linked to your address. So if any of those things don't match up when you try and order something online, it doesn't work. Capeline by YSL. I made quite a dent in that actually. This is one of the big 125 ml bottles. These bottles don't exist anymore. I think they only just changed them out last year, but this is a really great sort of white floral. I think there's a bit of ylang-ylang in here. I find it hard to describe. I guess it's also kind of musky as well. It's really, really lovely. There's a softness to it, but it is quite punchy, I think. So that's really, really good. I always get complimented on that one. Oh, I haven't worn this in a long time, but when I was wearing this, I was obsessed with it. This is Une by Jeroboam. This is the only fragrance from Jeroboam that I brought with me, although I think I did pack a discovery set of this brand because I'm still trying to get to know other perfumes in the line. Again, this is sort of a white floral with maybe a bit of coconut. I think there's supposed to be a pineapple note in it. I don't really get pineapple from it. I definitely get a brightness in the opening, but it's sort of this beautiful, creamy, almost beachy white floral without being, it's not suntan lotion-y though. It doesn't smell like suntan lotion, but it's gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. It's beachy, but at the same time, it smells sophisticated and expensive, for want of a better description. Oh, this is another really great one. This is Gris Clair by Serge Lutens. I bought a couple of Serge with me, but again, I couldn't bring all of them. And I do have a lot of Serge Lutens fragrances, but I really, really love this brand. And this is a beautiful, beautiful. It's a musky scent with a lavender note in it. And the lavender isn't too aromatic, but it just lifts those musks. It stops them from being too dense. And this is one of my favourite nighttime scents. Favourite. So I thought that's a really good one to bring along for comfort, because I'm here by myself for a little while. Matt is still in Brisbane trying to organise the rest of the house, waiting for the new tenant to arrive. This is Unpacking by Amouage, and yes, I did bring a few Amouage with me as well, but not as many as I would have liked. However, these bottles are heavy. They're really, really solid bottles, and it was the weight factor that really sealed the deal in terms of which ones I brought and which ones I left behind. I did have a few extras packed up in the suitcase, and they were all wrapped up like this, and I had to pull them out right before I left because my suitcases were overweight. And so I put them in a box in the bedroom and said to Matt, if he has any room or weight allowance in his suitcases when he comes, to grab some out of there. And then the rest of the perfumes that I didn't bring with me are all packed up very much like this in boxes and have been left for safekeeping with somebody that I know. Somebody who knows how much I love my perfumes and who understands. They're a frag head too. Oh, okay, oh no, it didn't leak. I thought it leaked for a second there. This is Ishal by Nila Vermeer. Another really great tuberose perfume, in my opinion. Very green and verdant in the opening. Can be quite sharp some days, depending on what mood I'm in, but it's a really, really great one. It's also an extrait concentration, so it's quite powerful, and you don't need to spray very much of it. I've got the Tonka Imperial wafting up at me because it's all over. It had leaked a little bit, and it's all over the bubble wrap. I have no idea what this one is. This one I definitely could not come to a hot climate and leave behind. This is Guerlain's Neroli Vedova from the Aqua Allegoria line. A really, really fantastic neroli scent. That's also obviously a bit of Vedova as well. Kind of citrusy, very bright. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's so good. Can bathe in that stuff. Oh, here's a special one that I definitely could not leave behind. It's another Surge, and hard to get now, but it's not discontinued. I think you just have to go to the Paris boutique. It's a Paris boutique exclusive now. Well, like a lot of the Surge fragrances are now, actually. This is Sidi Bel Abbez. Oh, so good. So good. I don't even know how to describe this one, actually. If you go back on my channel a couple of years, I did a live stream with Sam from My World of Fragrance. It was a few months before I was due to get married, and I was asking her, the whole point of the live stream was that I had asked her for recommendations for a wedding scent, and this was one of the ones she recommended. I didn't have this bottle at the time. This is a second-hand bottle that I picked up from a friend of mine when she was downsizing her collection. And so I didn't have it for the wedding. I chose other fragrances for the wedding, but I do actually really love it. And I'm very glad that Sam put that one on my radar because I was able to snap it up when the opportunity arose because I knew what I was getting. I did have a sample of it, so I was able to smell it. If you're like me and you have a lot of perfumes and you're constantly getting samples of stuff to try new things, you very quickly can get overwhelmed by all the samples, and sometimes samples can sit there and you don't even realise that they're there, and years can go by and you haven't tried them. So that was one of those. Number 22 by Chanel. This is so good. Ah, so good. It's just a really beautiful aldehydic fragrance with a bunch of rose in it. Some people say it's ylang-ylang heavy. I guess I can kind of get that. But for me, it's more rosy and aldehydic than ylang-ylang and aldehydic. But definitely aldehydes, very vintagey, old school smelling. It's great. It smells like it's related to number 5 maybe. But if you don't like number 5, well, if you don't like aldehydes, you're probably not going to like it because it is very aldehyde heavy. But that rose just gives it something else. It's amazing. It's so, so good. I really packed these so well. Okay, this is Lise 41 by Le Labo. This is a perfume that Matt bought for me for Christmas, not last Christmas, not the Christmas just gone, but the one before. He bought me this, and he bought me Barenia by Hermes. I haven't worn this very much, I'll admit, not because I don't like it. I just haven't thought to reach for it. So maybe now that I have a more condensed perfume collection for the foreseeable future, this one might get a bit more love. Gosh, my back is really sore. I went to the gym yesterday. I should have gone again today, but I was stressing out over the money that I apparently have lost. I've now come to terms with it, I guess, and I guess I've just, well, there's no point getting upset about it because it's gone. I don't think it's in this house, that's for sure. This is Bois d'Azil by Chanel, and it's so beautiful. It's kind of woody and ambery and soft, maybe a bit suede-y as well. So, so good. In fact, I might put a bit on. Yeah, that's so gorgeous. Love that. I don't even really know if I remember what the note profile for this was. I mean, obviously it's got a bit of an aldehyde bent to it because it is Chanel. But it is, yeah, it's kind of woody, I think. Oh, I guess the name would probably indicate that it's going to be kind of woody. I'm just going to change the battery because it's about to die. Anyway, where was I? Bois d'Azil. Yeah, so it's quite floral. There's something quite bright in it actually that I don't know if I've ever really picked up on before. Kind of citrusy, maybe a bit of bergamot. But you've got this beautiful, lovely, sort of creamy sandalwood aspect to it. And I think there's a ylang-ylang in that as well. So these are 3 fragrances from Puente Parfums. It's a Spanish brand. I really love these perfumes. I think they smell incredible. They all have very much an old school vintagey sort of profile. You've probably gathered that I like vintagey style perfumes, old school perfumes. Now I will say that one of you ordered from Puente last year and had a lot of problems with your order. So for anyone who's thinking about ordering from them, just be aware. I think they've had some issues and yeah, I don't know if it's been resolved yet. So just please be aware that some people have had some serious issues with their orders not being fulfilled or it just taking a really, really long time for things to ship. But I don't know if that particular instance has been resolved or not. I mean, it's good that he's growing and he's becoming more popular and more well known, but I think he's having some trouble keeping up. This is Rahel by Nila Vermeer. This is one of my favourite perfumes of the moment. And yes, so good, so good. I've really missed this. So I'm very, very, very happy. I think because I was bringing this, I might have left Ombre Royale by Ormond Jane behind because to me they have a similar profile. They don't smell exactly the same or anything like that. Definitely not exactly the same. But they kind of have, because of the osmanthus in them, I think they have a sort of a similar feel. And I was also really loving Ombre Royale. I think in the video that I did towards the end of the year where I was talking about the dents that I had, that Ombre Royale bottle was brand new earlier in the year and I think I'd been through almost half of it. So, but Rahel, beautiful as well and one of my absolute favourites, so I had to bring that one. What's the likelihood, do you think, that when I get to the next round of perfumes, Ombre Royale might actually still be in there? I think in my mind I definitely thought to myself I don't need to bring Ombre Royale, but I'm now wondering if perhaps maybe I did. This is Le Lion by Chanel. I only purchased this last year, I think. I had a sample of it. So this one was a bit of a journey for me. When I first smelled it on the year that it released, I can't remember what year it was now, was it 2020 or 2021? I thought that there was a lot of similarity between this and Shalimar, and I really love Shalimar. So for me, I was like, well, I definitely don't need this. I had a 10 ml decant of it and I gave that away. But then over time, as I've purchased Chanel products and gone into the store, they've given me samples of this. And I've been wearing the samples, and I decided that actually I do really like Lilion because it is more smoky than Shalimar. Shalimar these days is much more kind of just vanilla, really. It's like an ambery vanilla, and it's more vanilla than pretty much anything else. I still really love it, but I do have a bottle of vintage Shalimar, I think in the Eau de Toilette, and that is absolutely gorgeous. This is Fleur de Rain by Maison Godet. I bought this in St. Paul de Vence on our honeymoon. So for me, it's interesting. This reminds me more of our honeymoon and our wedding trip in France than my actual wedding perfumes did, because I wore this more on that holiday. The wedding perfume I wore obviously for the day, and I wore it for a few days after while we were in the villa. But when we were moving on and traveling around Italy and France, I ended up wearing this one more, and this one stuck in my mind more. So actually my scent memory from getting married in France is with this perfume, not my wedding scent. Speaking of Shalimar, not quite Shalimar, but when I first started packing up all the perfumes, I was really pedantic. I put them in plastic Ziploc bags and then I would wrap them in bubble wrap. This is Shalimar Souffle d'Oranger. There's a beautiful, beautiful petitgrain note in this perfume. It doesn't actually smell much like Shalimar at all. I don't even really get the original Shalimar DNA. There's obviously, excuse me, a lot of vanilla in here, but it is quite green and it has petitgrain and orange blossom. I think the petitgrain jumps out more in this to me, but there is that beautiful sweetness from orange blossom in here as well, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And the bottle is absolutely stunning. I packed this mostly because this is a limited edition. You can't get it anymore, although I think sometimes it still pops up here and there on discount websites and stuff. But that one I actually have a backup bottle of because I loved it so much. And that also is sitting with my trusty, my perfume trusty. This is Songe by Annick Goutal. I haven't worn this very much. This is a really amazing ylang-ylang white floral perfume, but it has a very kind of spicy opening. I think it's got a cumin note in here, and it has this sort of sweaty smell to it, a bit of sweaty armpit maybe. You definitely get a bit of cumin from this, and it's absolutely, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cough. It's really, really lovely, and the dry down on this, oh my God, amazing, amazing. But I haven't worn it very much, so I've brought it with me. Yeah, so I haven't worn Songe very much. Songe is actually a bottle that I bought on my honeymoon also, but I bought it in Italy, not in France. And I bought it towards the end of the holiday, so I didn't really wear it. In fact, I don't think I took it out of its box until I got home. This one I stole out of Matt's cabinet because I wanted to make sure that it came. This is Dior Homme Intense, a lovely irisy fragrance. Ah, that's making me feel homesick. I don't know why. I haven't, because I've had that bottle for a few years now and I haven't worn that much of it, but I often smell it every time I go into the perfume cabinet, the one that was downstairs, which I think we are actually bringing over when all of our stuff comes, and I always open that and smell it. So maybe that's why it makes me feel homesick, because I just associate it with standing in front of the perfume cabinet and smelling it. Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, gorgeous rose and patchouli scent, really, really, really good, very well done, and smells really, really fancy. So love that one. So that is it for that pile. Do I keep going? maybe if I just do that and go get the next batch. Okay, round 2. This one doesn't need scissors because it hasn't been bubble wrapped. This, I don't even know what this is, but it's fantastic. This is an Atelier Cologne fragrance. It has no label on it, unfortunately. I bought it in the Atelier Cologne store in New York in 2016. And I think it was a new release at the time. So I probably could look it up based on that. I have a feeling I remember them saying something about, I had mimosa in my head, but it smells very leathery and suede-y, but there is a floral aspect to it. I'm not sure I actually get a lot of mimosa, but, maybe there's a mimosa, but I think it is called mimosa something, but I just haven't looked it up. But I was wearing it quite a bit in Brisbane before I left, and I hadn't seen it for ages. I hadn't worn it for a long time. And this is, I think it's a 30 ml bottle. I'm not quite sure, but it's got still quite a lot in it. So it's beautiful. And I brought this along because I'm really into suede perfumes, and also because it has, I think this top does screw off. Yes, it does, because these are refillable. I didn't want it to evaporate, so I brought it along with me. Just because, again, I'm really into these leathery sort of scents at the moment. It's kind of why I'm so obsessed with Rahel, because that osmanthus gives a really leathery sort of feel. It's gorgeous. This is Ducita and it's Anamkara. Anamkara is a really pretty, bright, almost beachy sort of perfume, but it's quite fruity as well. I remember when I first smelled it, I thought this probably isn't for me, but as it turns out, I really, really like it. Because it's so sweet, I thought, because of the fruity aspect, I was thinking it wouldn't really be for me. This is Dior Riviera. Love it. It's like a really bright fig scent. I think it's got a bit of a rose note in there as well, and musk as a base, a really sort of clean musk as a base. And I really like it. A lot of people don't like it, I think, because it's quite simple in its profile. I want to say simple. I mean, it feels quite simple to wear. It's an easy one to wear, I think, but a lot of people don't like it, and some people find it a bit screechy. I don't. I think it's lovely. Iris Prima by Penhaligon's. I could not leave this behind. Again, another leathery perfume, also quite irisy as well. It's got this pink feel to it. And I don't wear it very much because I've only got this little, is it 50 mils? There's no way on God's green earth that I'm going to be able to read that because I don't have my glasses on. I'm assuming, oh no, it is actually, I can read it. Wow, 50 mil bottle. And I'm just so scared I'm going to use it all up because you can't get this anymore. And it is beautiful, really, really beautiful. But I'm trying to force myself to wear the perfumes, even if they're discontinued, because they're not coming back, I should enjoy them while I can rather than hoarding them, either for them to go bad or evaporate, I know logically that is the mentality I should be adopting, but it's really hard. Like, it's really hard to force myself to wear things that I know I won't be able to replace. Number 22, this is a vintage eau de toilette of number 22. I don't know what year it was, and it's a little, I want to say it's 30 mils. Doesn't actually say on here, but yeah, I saw this. I only bought this really just before we left Brisbane. Somebody was selling it, and it's a splash bottle, and it smells so good, but it does smell old, has that kind of old feel to it. So it's definitely an aged perfume. Hasn't gone off, but it's definitely aged. All right, this one I have to treat with kid gloves. This is Benjoin Bohème by Diptyque, and it's that beautiful old style bottle with the cracked glass. I mean, it's not actually cracked, obviously, but it's I don't know what you call this the design on the glass, but it's so pretty, but it always makes me think that it's so delicate because I feel like it's already cracked and that if you just touch it the wrong way, it'll shatter. But I love this perfume. It's like a dry, smoky, ambery benzoin. It's so good. This perfume always makes me think of a house with, a really formal style office in it with big windows and a leather chair, a brown leather chair or a brown leather couch, and some, dried flower arrangements in it, like not fresh flowers, but dried flowers. I don't know why. That's the image I get whenever so you got big windows and the sun, the autumn sun comes through the windows. It's kind of delicate. But then you have, this leather chair, old leather chair, and these sort of dried flower arrangements. I guess because of the dryness, maybe that's why I'm getting sort of dried flowers in my head. Shalimar Millesime Tonka. Love this. This is my favourite of the Millesime limited editions. I actually sold my Vanilla Planifolia as part of my declutter before I left. And I think I tried to sell the iris one because I didn't like the iris one. The iris one had a caramel note in the top and I didn't like it. And I kept the jasmine, but I don't know if I brought the jasmine with me. But I definitely still have the jasmine. But the Tonka is my absolute favourite. I do have a thing for Tonka. I never used to. I never used to be a big fan of Tonka. But I've really grown to love. I mean, I've always loved Tonka Imperial, but that was the only one that I really loved. I also had Fève Délicieuse by Dior. I still own that, but I don't. That's another Tonka one, but I don't wear that one as much as Tonka Imperial. I think Tonka Imperial is way better. This is Au Cœur du Desert by Andy Tower. I thought this would be great for Saudi because, I mean, it's the theme that this is based on is the desert, along with, hang on, I may as well unwrap it while I'm talking about it, or I'm about to talk about it. But Au Cœur du Desert is also based on the desert, obviously. No, this was Au Cœur du Desert. This is L'air du Desert Marocain. I don't say it the fancy way that other people say it, Marocain. I don't know how they say it. So L'air du Desert Marocain and Au Cœur du Desert, both very similar theme, but this one is a lot darker and a lot heftier, and it has a really prominent dark rose note in the top, whereas L'air du Desert Marocain is more soft. It's still ambery and dry, but it doesn't have that big rose in the top. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrances. Love them both, and I think they are perfectly suited to my current living location. So I've been invited by a neighbour to go. They apparently go out to the desert on the weekends fairly regularly, and literally on my second day here, I think he invited me to go out to the desert with them the next time they go, and I was like, yes, I will definitely do that, thank you. And guess what? I'll be wearing one of those too when I do that. Ooh La La by Théo Cabanel, a really beautiful sandalwood perfume. Oh, it's so pretty. It's really musky and soft. It's got I think it has a hazelnut note in it. I don't really get hazelnut. It does have a tinge of being sort of a little bit gourmand leaning, but yeah, it's lovely. And I only have this, I think it's a 30 ml bottle. There's no way I'm going to read that. If this is a 30 ml bottle, I'm pretty sure, or 20 mils maybe. And I'm over halfway through. So I brought it with me because I feel like I probably should just finish it. This one I definitely could not leave behind. This is Blondine by Frasai, another suede sort of perfume. But this is so interesting. There's a lot of white florals in here. You get this sort of gently soapy floral aspect, not overly soapy, like not really sharp soapy like a Chanel No. 5 or anything like that, but it's soft, and then it's made even softer by this beautiful suede base. I think it's meant to have a butter note or something in it. I don't know. It doesn't smell like butter to me, but I think it definitely has a beautiful softness to it. There's no way I could not bring this. This is Almond Woman by Almond Jane, one of my all-time favourite perfumes, and huge on the cardamom. And cardamom is everywhere here, so I definitely had to bring this with me. I've only got about a third or a quarter probably of the bottle left. But I do have a backup at home, still in this old style actually, because when the new bottles came out, I bought some of the older ones that were going cheaper, and I bought a big one. So I've actually got one of the big 120ml bottles of this at home. Well, in Brisbane, I should say. It's not at home specifically. So when I wear through that one, I can go back to Brisbane and pick up the other one, of course. This is Fleur de Peau by Diptyque, another beautiful iris perfume, aldehydic iris perfume. It's great. Very clean smelling, like you've just stepped out of a bath or shower. Really, really good. Thought that would go well in a climate where, you know, for a good part of the year, it's very hot. It's actually not very hot at the moment. It's quite pleasant outside during the day. Today I walked up the street. Somebody invited me to one of the local WhatsApp groups where one of the ladies around the corner bakes bread. It's not just bread, as I've discovered. It's really yummy, sweet things. So I'm not allowed, I allowed myself to order a few things today. I did order just some normal, like plain bread rolls, which I can use during the week. But she had all these beautiful things, like they almost like donuts, but they were made mostly from brioche, I think. But they were very nice. And so I bought a couple of cinnamon buns, and I've already eaten one. It was very nice. Delicious. Jubilation 25. So good. So good. This and Beloved, oh my gosh, amazing, amazing perfumes. Beloved is a bit darker, more leathery. This is a bit brighter, but has, I think, a bit more going on in it, you know, or it feels like there's a bit more of a range of notes in this in terms of light to dark, whereas Beloved does sit more in that sort of leathery, ambery, darker realm from the get-go. So you just don't get that full spectrum of the really bright notes in the front, in the top. But Jubilation is I think it's modelled off a very old version of the Chypre perfumes of yesteryear, which they don't quite smell the same anymore. This is Epic Woman. Could not come here without this one at all. A beautiful, beautiful rose and frankincense. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. I think Henna from CanadianBeauty.com and I were having a little conversation about this online. I think I posted about it on Instagram maybe, or maybe it was TikTok, I can't remember. And she was saying that she struggles, because I was wearing this, you know, a lot. For a period of time, either last year or the year before, this was sort of in my weekly rotation. I was wearing it almost every other day. And I think I had a whole week where I just basically wore it. And she was going, she couldn't do that because the cumin in it is too strong. But it is spicy for sure, but I love it. This is another Diptyque by the looks of it. Oh yeah, I think I know what this is. I was thinking it was a hair mist, but it's not. It is actually a perfume. This is Dauson by Diptyque. It's the eau de toilette, but it was in the little limited edition bottle, and it's only a 30ml bottle, I think. Love this perfume. It's just so bright and happy and clean, and it's a tuberose-based perfume. I do have the big bottle of this as well, the 75ml, but I left that one at home. I brought this one with me because it's only 30ml and therefore lighter, which meant that I could put another bottle of something else in here. This one is not bubble wrapped. It's a Chanel, and it is number 19 parfum. So this is not, this is in the, oh no. Oh no, oh no. I lost it. It must have leaked. Bugger. I lost the lot. That's a real shame. That is very much a shame. But I'm very sad about that. That was full. Although I had bought it secondhand. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Oh well. The box smells amazing though. Number 19, parfum. There's only like 2 drops left. Oh well. That is the risk you take when you put perfumes on airplanes, I guess. Luckily, Chanel is readily available everywhere. I think the reason, I mean, I got that cheap because it was a friend in the Facebook group was a few years ago was selling off his vintage bottles. I think I only paid maybe $150 for that. It's a lot more than that now. Le Bleu Eau de Parfum by Guerlain. So, so gorgeous. Yes, I love it. I love it. So powdery as well. Really, really lovely. Kind of an orange blossomy perfume, I think, but old school orange blossom, not sweet and sugary like a lot of orange blossoms are these days. Okay, another amber favourite of mine, which is Ombre 114 by Histoire de Parfum. We have 1904 by Histoire de Parfum. It's like a leathery iris, suede iris. And 1472, which is another beautiful white and yellow floral. Ylang ylang, but it's got this sort of smokiness in it, just a tinge. It's really, really good. Beautiful, beautiful. I've just discovered that I struggle to sit cross-legged for long periods of time because my hip flexors are screaming at me right now. This is Hilly by Widian, and this is another, I think it's meant to be tuberose and ylang ylang, but it's got lots of woody notes in here. It's got that kind of Middle Eastern vibe to it. It's quite strong. I think there's a few synthetics in here as well to really boost it, but I don't mind. I think it's great. And on skin, the florals really, really jump out. But when you smell it out of the atomizer, it's a lot of those sort of woody notes, and maybe there's some amber woods in here, I'm not sure. But it is quite strong. It fits the vibe of what everyone around me is wearing at work. So, although not everyone, our team, in fact, is very diverse culturally. We've got some local Saudis, we've got French lady, we've got guys from the UK, we've got, and the lady who sits next to me is from Japan. We've got another guy who is from Japan. We've got a guy who's from Indonesia, Indonesia/Aussie, because he's also Aussie, and he came over from Australia. So yeah, we've got a really diverse team. This one I could not leave behind. It's The Favourite by Penhaligon's. And it's just, this does not, like, I feel like this doesn't really fit the vibe of Saudi now that I'm here, but I just love it anyway, and I have to wear it. I'm going to have to wear it. And I think it does wear beautifully, I think, in the warmer months. I think I saw a review a few months ago where the person was saying, I would not wear this in the warmer months, but I think it works really well in the warmer months personally. This is new for me. This is Moulin Rose. This one I got from Bloom Parfums, and I think she might have actually sent this to me. Did I buy it or did she send it? I think she sent it, because I think I tried the sample set, and when I told her which one I liked, she sent me the bottle, which was really nice. This is a really interesting kind of, it's like a clean rose, but then with a musky base, but the musks are kind of a little bit sensual, if we want to put it that way. So that's Moulin Rose by Odette Parfums. There's a few good ones in the Odette Parfums range, but a lot of them are quite sweet, I think, from memory, or they all have this sort of musky, sweet, girly ballerina. I mean, she is a ballerina. the lady who owns the brand. And I don't know if she's the perfumer, but she definitely owns the brand. And they've all got this sort of pink, as far of the ones that I smelled anyway, and some of them are quite gourmand. This is Berenia by Hermes. I kind of mentioned this before. I have tried the Intense. I actually have the bottle of the Intense in Brisbane as well. Didn't like the Intense as much. I prefer the original. I'm trying to do this quickly because my hip flexors are really sore from sitting cross-legged. Obviously need to do more yoga. I'm nearly there, guys. Oh gosh, maybe not. There's still quite a few. This is Tanja by Ormond Jane. I think this has been discontinued now too. This is a great neroli and kind of orange blossomy scent. It's quite sweet for my style of what I like, and it took me a while to actually buy the bottle, and now I've got the bottle and I really love it. But of course now it's discontinued. So, I'm a bit worried about this one now. Hopefully, thank God. This is Cuir de Russie, the parfum, and this, because this had been opened as well, I was a bit worried that this might have leaked like the number 19 did, but it did not. Such a beautiful perfume. It's like a really green, leathery scent. It's great. An old favourite, Gris Dior by Dior. Yes, I also have a decant. I also have some of this decanted into a travel size that I brought over as well with me in my bag. But yeah, I mean, again, it's sort of almost half empty, this bottle, and I just felt like this would be a good place to wear it because they do like rose scents here. There's lots of saffron, rose and oud, or not necessarily ouds even, but I mean, there are a lot of ouds, but some of the woody rose fragrances that I smell, I think might actually be other woods as well. Mille Hebertau's Indian Study, a fantastic sandalwood scent. Love it. I think it was actually Pet from the Sentinel that got me onto that one. Or kind of, I was tossing up, I had never pulled the trigger on a Mille Hebertau fragrance, and it took me ages because there was this one and another one that, and I can't remember the name of it. It was kind of an odd name that I really liked. I also liked Postcard, I think, which was like a minty aromatic perfume. But I couldn't decide which one I was going to get. And he was talking about Indian Study for a while, and kind of that's what I ended up getting. I was very much influenced. Shanghai Lily by Tom Ford. This is another discontinued gem. Have you noticed that I've maybe brought a lot of my discontinued ones with me because I want to enjoy them. I don't want them to die. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. This kind of reminds me of my mum too, because this perfume reminds me of Youth Dew. There is something about it. It doesn't smell like Youth Dew, but it reminds, I think because there must be lily in Youth Dew, I guess. There's something about Youth Dew that reminds me of Shanghai Lily or vice versa. And consequently, that one reminds me of my mum, but I won't wear Youth Dew, but I will wear this one. So this way I get to sort of think of mum, be reminded of mum when I wear it, but I don't actually have to wear her signature. You know what I mean? But my mother wore Youth Dew pretty much for my entire childhood. And it was only in the last couple of years that she said, I'm kind of sick of it. She'd stopped wearing perfume because that Youth Dew was all she had, and she was sick of it. She said, I've been wearing it for decades. So she asked me to get her another perfume, and I ended up giving her BDK's Bouquet de Hongrie. And yeah, she really liked that. She wanted like something fresh and floral and musky, and I bought her that one. And my sister ended up taking that bottle when mum passed. So now my sister wears it, which is good. This is another great one, and I absolutely could not leave this one behind. This is Picovia Dama by Xerjoff. A really, really wonderful aldehydic perfume that has an ambery base. So it's kind of resinous, but aldehydic at the same time. It's amazing. it's so good. And it's so powerful. You do not need to wear much of that. That bottle will last me eons. There was a 100 ml bottle that was going for a really good price over Christmas in one of the online stores because they had a sale on, and that Pick of Iodama was part of the sale. And I was like, oh, maybe I should buy the 100 ml because that's a 50 ml. But then my friend Wenny very sensibly sort of said to me, you know, you're not going to be able to get through that bottle as it is because it's so strong. And I went, you're right. So I didn't buy the 100 ml. Iris Malacan by Maison Crivelli. This did leak a little bit actually, which is a bit of a shame, but still amazing. It's irisy, but kind of green and kind of leathery and a bit smoky at the same time. Maybe not so much, yeah, there's leathery aspects in there. Oh, it's so good. It's very unique. I don't remember where I got to then. The battery ran out. I've been through 2 batteries on this. That just tells me it's going to take me forever to edit it. But I better hurry up because I don't know how much room I've got left on this SD card either. And I've only got a few bottles left to get through. So let's zip through them and then I can count them, tell you how many there are. I don't know why I wrapped this one twice. This is Datura Noir by Serge Lutens, a lovely coconutty tuberose perfume. Really, really good for warm weather. And, you know, I am on the Red Sea now, so I can literally walk 5 minutes that way and I can walk along the coast of the Red Sea. So I'm very happy about that. When I lived in Western Australia, I kind of lived not 5 minutes walk from the beach. We can't swim here though. We have to go a little bit further south. So a couple of kilometres to get to the swimming beach where they allow people to swim. But there's lots of diving and lots of snorkeling. And you bet your ass I'm going to be signing up for those activities. I was just talking to a researcher yesterday who's working on the Red Sea project here, and he's saying, you know, we need divers to help us plant coral, and I'm going, I'll do it. I do need to do my refresher. And he goes, oh, are you a diver? And I went, yeah, and I'm dead keen. I'm dead keen to dive the Red Sea. It's been on my bucket list for ages. All right, we have a number of Decita Parfums here. I think one of these is leaked. Yeah, I think the Erewhon has leaked a little bit, but never mind. So we've got Erewhon, Rosarine, La Douceur de Siam, La Rhapsodie Noire. Sorry, it's really hard to read these. Oh, Tonka Latte. Don't know why I brought that one actually. It's not really a favourite of mine, even though I do love Tonka. It's a little bit gourmandy for me, or almondy for me. And then I've got 2 Erewhons. Okay. All right, well, the fact that one leaked probably isn't such a big deal then. Okay, so that's the Ducitas. That's all of the Ducitas now, I think. Oh, yes. Embruns d'Ylang by Guerlain. Really, really great Ylang Ylang perfume. Oh, it smells so fancy. And I get a lot of compliments on this one too. I think it's been discontinued now. Oh, shit. I think it's been discontinued now, sadly. But I think you can still get bottles on the secondhand market. 1957 by Chanel. I had to bring this because, again, I'm over halfway through the bottle and I obviously really love it. And I don't know if I'll end up repurchasing this while I'm here. We'll see. But I do love it. I do wear it a lot. But I also think that now that I've worn through the better part of a bottle, almost a full bottle, well, over half a full bottle, I don't know if I have, you know, the strong obsession with it that I had when I first bought it. So, I mean, I'll still happily wear it, but especially in this climate, right now I would wear it, but, you know, it's going to get a lot hotter here and I just don't know if I would wear that in the high heat, but you never know. And then last but not least, Night Flower by Eris Parfums. Again, this is another one that I only bought fairly recently and I've worn quite a lot of it. It is gorgeous. And it's like The way I describe it is it kind of reminds me a little bit of Musk Ravageur by Frederic Malle, which is in the cupboard. It is in the cupboard. And I didn't put it in my weekly rotation video on TikTok. Oh, well. I did wear it this week. So I did bring Musk Ravageur with me. It's in the cupboard. It's already unwrapped, hence why it's not amongst these. But this kind of reminds me of that scent profile, but it has this very luminous white floral tuberose in particular that sits over the top, and it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, well, are we, if we're counting bottles, are we counting the little ones or are we, because these are only 15 ml. Do I count them? I don't know if I should count them. And the Puentes, I think, are only 20. So maybe I draw the line at 30 mils and these don't get counted as part of the count. But yeah, let me do this. Okay, so I have 37 bottles here, not counting the 15 mils. The 15 and 20 are not included. Maybe I even have less than 50, guys. Gosh, it looks like more than 50 though. Let me bring you with me. Oh, what have I done here? I've pressed something. Okay, so in here we have a bottle of Eau Premiere by Chanel. That's a 50 ml bottle. I bought that at the airport. We have a number 5 Chanel. These are travel sizes that go with these. So there's 2 20 ml travel sizes in there and 1 20 ml in there. And we have Chypre Rouge by Serge Lutens, a really, really great fragrance, very unique. We also have Kintsugi by Masque Milano with a dodgy looking lid. The lid was all, these lids are rubber and they degrade over time, or they're silicon rubber maybe, but they degrade over time and they get really sticky. And literally today, I posted about it on Instagram and TikTok and asked people for recommendations on how to unstick them because I hated touching it. And it looks a bit dodgy, but my friend Emma told me to spray it with dry shampoo and it worked a treat. It's no longer sticky, but it looks terrible, but that's okay. We have Parisian Musk by Matière Première. I wore this week. In fact, let me zoom you out a little bit maybe so that you can actually see the bottles. Yeah, this Parisian Musk, I wore this week. It's like a figgy ambrette fragrance and it's great because it lasts all day, but it's not the kind of perfume. I don't find that really gets in my other people's face that much, but some people might disagree. The Matière Première fragrances are designed to be quite loud. This is Beloved Woman. This was the first perfume I unwrapped from its bubble wrap when I got here. And I wore this on my first day of work. My first full day of work, I should say. Because literally the day I got in was my first day of work and I checked in to HR that day. I also brought with me Date with a Dame by One Way Bridge. This is a new bottle. I finished the old bottle and I just love this stuff. It's like a musky pink floral with a suede undertone. It's gorgeous. I'll put that at the back. I also wore this week Narcotic V by Nazamato and Guardians of India by Parle-moi de Parfum. And I wore these together. I do tend to do that. So Narcotic V is a tuberose perfume, which is kind of got a watery feel to it, but it also has something in it that's kind of quite pungent actually, and it smells a little bit synthetic, but there's just something about it that I really like, even though it's got that sort of synthetic pungency about it. And then this one is the Gardens of India is more of a jasmine, like a citrusy jasmine. It does have tuberose in it as well, but I get more jasmine from this, and it's really pretty, and it's got more of a sparkle to it and a slight hint of sweetness as well. So I find these two go really well together. They're beautiful on their own, but I do like to wear them together, although I know some people really vehemently disagree with the idea of layering things. I also have this 15 ml bottle of Ylang 49. I actually brought this with me in my carry-on. This was my perfume that I was going to wear when I landed, and sure enough, I did do that. So for the first weekend I was here, this was my perfume. And of course, I did say that I had Musk Ravageur. So let me get it out of the box. And I wore this to work the other day, and I smelled great. And I felt like I really kind of fit in because, you know, it's that kind of perfume. So really beautiful, musky, ambery, sort of with a bit of a challenge in there as well. The musk has got a bit of a bite to it. Maybe it's got a bit of castoreum, I can't remember. But it's really, really lovely, really great perfume. One of my favourites. So 46 bottles, guys. So if I count all of the 15 ml and 20 ml bottles that I've got, I actually brought 62. So, wow, I think I did way better than I thought. Between 30 and 50 bottles is a lot of perfume, guys. And I'm looking at this on the bed and going, how did I ever get to a point where I had nearly 400? That's insane. Absolutely insane and totally unnecessary. But of course, when I go home, there'll be bottles that I'll want to drag back, I'm sure. But I am going to try and be good about not bringing too many bottles back with me, because eventually we probably will leave. You know, we're not going to stay here forever. And, well, I don't know. I mean, you just don't know, do you? But that's the point. We don't know what we're going to do. And I don't want to have to go through what I just went through with trying to reduce this. I mean, it took me weeks. It took me weeks because I just couldn't. I found it so challenging, and there were so many that I just wanted to bring and I couldn't. So these were the ones that I brought. So I really need some water now, and I'm very tired, but I need to actually now put these all in the cupboard. And I think I'm going to leave this here because I don't think I have the energy or the saliva to talk my way through organising all of these in the cupboard. But thank you for joining me. I'm sorry this has been really kind of off the cuff, but I know that a lot of you wanted to know which ones I brought with me. So now you know which ones I brought with me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.